my goodness. Hi, welcome to Thrifty Fibres. My name is Essie, and I use she or they pronouns. This is Bud. He is my 16-year-old rescue baby who will not leave me alone right now. So he's going to join us for as long as he wants to, because he's a color bug right now. This is episode 1 of my crafting podcast, I guess. We'll see if anybody enjoys this. If you do enjoy it, please like and subscribe. Please leave a comment. Let me know what you're thinking, what you're working on, and if you have any suggestions, comments, editing suggestions. I am pretty new to video editing in the 2020s. The last videos I edited were in about 2006 on whatever free Microsoft software there was back then. Anyway, let's keep going. But can I have my hand? I need my hand. He's sitting on my sleeve. The shirt is dangerous around Bud because it is loosely knit. Fortunately, it's a pretty sturdy fiber. So this is actually the Waterbender sweater. I had to look up the artist's name. I was part of the test knit group this summer. This is in cotton linen. This was my first real experiment with cotton linen from KnitPicks. And I like it. I don't know that I would like this in wool. It's quite heavy. It's all brioche, so it's quite heavy. And I think it would be a little warm in wool. It's quite warm in cotton linen. It's 50 degrees in northern Michigan today, and I was quite comfortable outside without a jacket. But that was the summer knit. I'm going to show you some of the last month or so, I guess, for this first one, and then I haven't decided if I'm going to do this weekly or every other week yet. I guess it depends on what I end up doing during the week, whether or not I have anything to show. But I'm going to show you some of the last good month-ish of completed projects, and what I mean by that. This is the most recent completed project. This is the Flax Light in KnitPicks kettle fingering Blackbird, I think. I'll put all of the actual information down in the description underneath the video, so you can look at that if you're interested. I'm pretty happy with it. I don't like how some of the pooling, the color pooling, happened, but I don't really want to tear it back that far. I don't know. I'm going to wear it this winter, see if it still bugs me. And if it does, this would be, well, at least the second project, maybe the third for this yarn that I've torn back and it's done again. So that's that one. It's quite comfy. It's nice and light. It's a superwash, which I'm mixed on. It's not as breathable is maybe not the right word, but I feel like I sweat more and it stays against my skin more when I'm wearing superwash wool versus just regular wool. But I got about 10 skeins of this for free. So, I'm going to use it. And, so that's my Flax Light. This one is the Leah Pullover. This was another test knit. I did it in Drops Alpaca. This was just one of their natural colors. One side is a V-neck, and the other, the lace side, is a crew neck. I don't know if it's going to show up. Yeah, it does. This was a lot of fun, and I always love watching how things block out, how lace blocks out. It's magic. I usually wear the lace side on the back because, well, for me, it's just more comfortable to have the solid side on the front and the lacy side on the back. I don't mind people looking at my back if my back peeks through. And also, I prefer the V-neck to be in the front and the crew neck to be in the back. But this is really comfortable. And it's so far, I knit this on size 7 needles, I think. And this is the DK weight. And that's a little bit looser than I usually would. I tend to like pretty dense fabrics because they wear better. They're a little bit hardier. They don't, well, my little monsters don't rip them as easily with their claws. But this one's holding up. This, I mean, for all of the talk about expensive fibers online, Drops, if you've never used them before, they're a European brand, but you can get them for affordable shipping on Etsy, and they're about equivalent to the lower price range on KnitPicks, so like $3 or $4 for a ball. And it came out beautifully. I've used a lot of Drops alpaca because I can't afford the fancy alpaca that is sold online in America. This I am super proud of, and this is a little bit older than a month. I think I finished this just a month ago, and this is my Slipstravaganza shawl. I started spinning for this in January, I think. I think I started buying the wool in December, and I started spinning in January. And this is probably half and half Drops Fable and my Nano. This is mohair in 4 different shades. I don't know if, yeah, here you can see the shades on the diamonds. That should pretty well. I love that. This is 4 different shades from Mohair and More. They are one of the more affordable cone top sellers on Etsy that I've found, and their fiber is really, really good. I've not had a single problem with shipping or the fiber itself. It's very well processed, almost no vegetable matter in it whatsoever. And yeah, I'm really proud of this. It's huge and it blocked out so well. There's something like almost 1,000 stitches at the end to bite off this ripple part, and I couldn't find off. But this was when I was working on it when my hours got cut to 0 in September. And so it took me about 2 weeks because I was stressed and I used knitting as a stim. And so this was how I survived September unemployed. And I love it. I am wearing it all the time. I wanted something like super warm. Obviously this is not it. This is a 3-ply sport fingering. I'm not great at consistency between those guys, especially with the 3-ply. But it's done on size 4 knitting needles, so let me fix this. Sorry. It's not the thickest fabric, but it is wool, so over top things it's cozy. It'll be good for the Michigan fall, at least. I imagine I'll be wearing a winter, but I'll probably pair it with some other stuff because I live in a very old house that is drafty. So those are the completed projects that I have that I can show you. I also finished a couple birthday presents scratch that Christmas presents, but my friend watches this. Hi, Faye. So you don't get to see those yet. And I also made a hat and knits out of some the 3-ply merino, the same black merino from O'Hare and More, and this starry silk this was from the Blurry, and this is the pansy, I think, colorway, which I already gave away because it's cold, and pretty good. And I wanted my friends to be able to have those to wear. I actually forgot. This is another, almost completed. I need to weave in some of the edges or some of the strings still. But I just blocked this. Well, actually, I blocked it about 4 days ago. But because of the weather and the humidity, it's still kind of damp. This is cotton linen. It's the KnitPicks CotLin. I'll put the color in the description because I don't remember. It's about 20 days for dark room. But this is the 4th or 5th shirt I tried to make out of the same yarn. So I got this a year or two ago to make kind of open work sweater shirts that, the kind that you can wear over like a tank top. And I just never liked how it was coming out. This was not the first project in cotton that I tried, but I haven't done a whole lot in cotton. It was either, acrylic or wool. When I started getting into more natural fibers, I gravitated towards wool because I live in northern Michigan and it's cold. But I got this because I wanted something that I could wear in like the spring or, on cold summer nights, just throw over a tank top. And I just couldn't get it to look how I wanted it. All of the patterns that I tried were made for wool, and wool acts a lot different than cotton linen does. Especially when you're doing like knits and pearls as a texture feature, it just doesn't have the spring that wool has, so it just didn't look nice. So this is the Anker pullover. Anker pullover, I think it's called. And this is the second one I made. I made one in gray using the leftovers from this shirt, actually, this summer, with the regular, just a little cap sleeve that comes with the pattern. And I loved it, and I figured, why not make a long sleeve one? So this is a 3/4 sleeve. I had to do the sleeves 2 at a time, which was the first for me, because I really wasn't sure how much I was going to have. And I didn't want to, make one sleeve and then have to go back and, pull it out because I made it too long and I ran out of yarn. So that was fun. I don't think I want to do it again because I much prefer using DPNs for things like sleeves. Okay. I just like the way it's what I'm used to. I'm getting used to magic loop, but I prefer DPN. So anyway, I am very happy with how this came out, and it's still kind of damp, and I still have to weave in some of the ends, but I'm excited to wear it, and I really like that shade of brown. Okay, work in progress. So, bud. Staying with knitting, I am making yet another Anker pullover, because I got this bundle of summer, it's like the summer bundle or something from KnitPicks, and I wanted to make a bright pride rainbow shirt of some kind. And I also have all of this black left over from, again, this sweater. Part of the thing with test is you're not really sure how much yarn you're going to use, especially if you're not using the suggested yarn. So, you always end up getting too much. Anyway, so I'm making another Anker sweater. I haven't decided how I'm going to finish the sleeves. I would be able to wear it for longer in the year if I make long sleeves. However, I only have this much black left. So, this will be enough to finish the body, I think. I usually do like a 14 inches from the bottom of the armpit to the hemline, and then I have the purple that I'm going to do for the ribbed hem. Which means one way or another, I'm going to have to pause and wait till I have some cash to buy more. You good? Buy more for the sleeves, which also means I have a while to decide whether or not I want to do short sleeves or long sleeves. I really like long sleeves. I tend to do 19 inches from armpit or thigh to wrist, just because that's comfortable for me, and I like my sleeves long. I really don't like it when you buy sweaters at the store and they're just above the wrist, and I don't know, I must have slightly longer arms than the typical model. That is so good. Hi, yes, you are love. He is eaten. He cuddled all night. Don't let him convince you that he's a neglected kitty. Yes. I need you to let go. Sweetie. Ow. Yes, I see you. Yes. I love you. Mwah. Cats, man. Okay. The other in progress is just this sock. This is the second of a pair. And I forget the colorway. This is another Drops. I'm showing this to my computer, which is where my monitor is instead of the camera. Bud. Hi. I guess I'm just sitting here like this for a minute. He's licking my neck. Please don't lick. It's gross. Yes. Please sweet. So this is my other work in progress. It's just a sock. This is another Drops yarn. It's a superwash. I'm knitting it on size 0 needles, and I am using magic loop because these are my travel projects. So I stick them in a little baggie when I'm out and about at doctor's appointments or visiting my friend's house, and I tend to lose size 0 needles. So it's safer to do magic loop for these. And I will put the colorways down in the description because I don't remember. That's all for knits. I've been working a little bit on my pin loom with some sock yarn scraps. This is since the last week or so of. I've made, I think, 3 pairs of socks with this particular yarn. This is just stock yarn from Joann's. I think, I'm not even going to say the brand because it's been so long, I don't remember. And then this, I think, was, I gave these to my mom. This was a Lion brand stock yarn that I found kind of at random last year. I really like the colors. So anyway, I'm using the leftover yarn from all of the socks that I've made, probably at least 2 dozen at this point. Maybe more, I don't know. Anyway, I'm using those, and At some point, I will make a giant, very colorful Afghan. What else? Oh, work in progress. This is the jacket that I have had for a couple years now. It was a hand-me-down. I don't know if it was a thrift store purchase or purchase new, but it was in very rough condition when I got it. But it works just as like early fall. It's kind of chilly and windy, so this is mostly nylon. And it was in really rough shape. The lining, I'm making a video, so you'll be able to see what the lining looks like, but it was just really frayed. When I pulled out the hood, the inside was not, the edges weren't finished, so it was just shredding. And so anyway, I replaced the hood lining. This from scrap fabric from an old project, as well as the cuffs. So these were all, this was in really bad shape too. And then I did end up having to pull off the snaps. Some of the snaps were already missing. Okay, but stop. I love you, but you need to stop. Okay, go down. Some of the snaps were already missing. And then some I pulled off in the process of replacing the lining. So I'm going to pull the rest off later and replace them. And then I also, my lumber is really easy, and I was kind of the lowest setting just to kind of like press the seam of the hood up. And I don't know if you can see that. Anyway, it burned and created new holes. So I don't really want to take this apart and replace this part of the lining. So I have some nylon stick-on patches. You know how they have the iron-on patches? They also have stick-on patches for like tents and umbrellas. I'm going to give that a try. It's a little close to the cotton. I don't know if it'll work, but I'm going to give it a try. Because I'm afraid if I try and I have some linen, like some really light linen leftovers that I thought about. And that might work if I do make a patch like this whole size and just cover this whole piece. But I'm worried if I try and sew through this nylon that it'll just create new holes and rip again. So I have to think about that a little bit more. Either the patches or I have some light green handkerchief weight linen that I could try. So that's a work in progress. That is all the sewing that I've been doing. I also have some crafty things that I've made. This I'm super proud of. This is my first big basket. I've made like a pine needle basket before, but this is my first big basket. This was I made this at the Northern Michigan Fiber Festival, I think it was called. It was a couple weeks ago, and I got the class, basket weaving class, as a birthday gift from my friend. And yeah, I'm using it to hold extra weaving and a spindle that I never use anymore. This is just storage right now. I'm pleased with it. I messed up a little bit on the twill pattern at the base, but it came out really fun, and I love it. And the other thing that I finished is my Lady Kate add-on that I made. There's 2 videos on my channel. One's shorter. Rewind. There's 2 videos on my channel. One is the entire process where I don't really narrate too much, but it's more of a slow TV video. And then one is shorter, more edited, with some voiceover of what I did to make this. I did, since then, replace the tension wire. I ended up having to do a double layer of tension wire with the thin plastic nylon. It's the beading wire that I had. I did a double layer, but it came untied because I had to glue it. So this I found slightly thicker nylon, and I put a little drop of glue on each side. And so, yeah, this is all done, and I've been able to use it. Let me show you what I used it on. This is my current spinning project. This is the fluff. This was Coopworth, and it's from a yarn company in Wisconsin that was at the Fiber Festival that I will list in the description. I can't remember the name, but it was their Evergreen color. And I got this as a gift. And I am spinning a 4-ply DK weight because I want to make a cable sweater. So this is the bobbin. I'm trying to do this all on my Nano, partly because I'm used to spinning comb top or roll-egg type wools on a Drops Fable, but this Roving is just so easy to spin on the machine, on the e-spinner, that I'm just gonna go with that. So I'm doing a 4-ply DK weight, and this is the first test skein that I made. It's between 11 and 14 wraps per inch. A couple of the places I measured were about 9, which was a little on the thick side. But I'm holding off on spinning anymore, applying anymore, really, until I get the pattern, which is in a library book. And I'm waiting to get that so I can knit the swatch and make sure this is the consistency I want. It's, well, I didn't whack it very much because I was a little worried about how big it would swoop up. So I just kind of, yanked it in all directions, kind of like you do when you have silk in there. Like a silk wool blend, you don't really whack it very hard. You just kind of like yank it in all directions to fell it a little bit, or pull it a little bit. Yeah, it's pull. Fell wouldn't spell, it's pull when you are spinning. So I'm excited for this. I think it's going to be a really cute, I think it's the St. Bridget pullover. It's a really beautiful cable knit. It's got like a cable collar. I'm really excited about it. So yeah, that's been my spinning lately. All of this, I'm very excited about all of that. So, things that I'm reading right now, I'm reading 2 books. Well, I'm listening to 2 books because I've been too fidgety and needing to move around too much to actually sit and read a single book beyond the time I spend at my computer. So, I'm listening to 2 books. I am listening, it's kind of embarrassing to admit on the internet, but the fiction book I'm listening to right now is Ayn Rand's Atlas Shrugged. So this is because if a book that I haven't read comes up like 3 or 4 times within, me paying attention to the fact that it's come up 3 or 4 times, I feel the need to read it. And it's a long book. It's like 60 hours, I think, the audiobook. I think I'm like 12% through it. I'm not going to finish it in the month that I have the book. And I don't think I'm going to renew it, but I wanted to give it a go and see if it might, maybe not help me understand the kind of uber libertarian gung-ho capitalist perspective, but at least it'll give me a touch point for understanding what they think or not think, believe, find valuable. It's such an alien way of thinking to me that the lines in the book are. I keep finding myself laughing because they're just so absurdly like straw man arguments. Like there's this in a recent scene that I listened to, they're at this party and it's one of the characters' wives throwing a anniversary party for them, and the two of the main characters are there, and the rest of the group is like journalists or artists. There's a few professors there, and the things that she has the professors saying are so not based in reality. Like, you know, I think that the one literature professor said something like, I think there should only be 10,000 copies of any book sold, because, you know, that'll make people write more, and it'll be better. Like, the literature will be better, or something like that. And one of the one female main character, responds with like, well, what if more people want to read it? And the literature professor was like, well, that's too bad. They can go read something else. And like, no humanities person, no person who really cared about literature would ever say that. But she's putting it in this guy's mouth. And she does this repeatedly throughout the book. She's putting these arguments in people's mouths that just like are so absurd. And like the main guy that is his anniversary, he has this whole like 20-minute long monologue that's in his head when he's getting ready about how like he's so misunderstood, and you know, being a businessman is like a dirty secret, and liking your business is a dirty secret. And it's like nobody thinks that. It's like taking something to the most absurd place, but somehow this is great literature. I don't even know. I'm struggling with it, but that's the fiction book I'm reading right now, and I want to get the title of the other book right, because the other book is, I like to read a fiction and a nonfiction. So the other book is Invisible Women, Data Bias in a World Designed for Men by Caroline Prado-Perez. And it's, so this book is, well, I haven't gotten too far into it yet. I'm like, an hour and 55 minutes into it. But it talks about the different ways that gender and bodies are taken into account in creating policy, in even the ways that we've studied history in the past, like, you know, man the hunter, well, what were the other 50% of humanity doing at the time? And public policy, healthcare even. So it's about the gap in our collectively how we understand what the default human is, and that maybe the basic argument starts from that the default human is typically a white male body, which doesn't take into account obviously the female 50% or 51%. I forget what the ratio is. But it also doesn't take into account the shapes of bodies of non-white people that might be smaller or might be bigger. So it's interesting. It's obviously a denser read, but I forget where it came up. But it was one of those books it's been on my list, and I finally got it in at the library, so I'm excited to listen to it. I think that is all. If you are working on anything, let me know, and I would love to see your project. And like, subscribe, share this, leave a comment, and I will see you in a week or two when I do an update. Bye.